Well, hey, and welcome everybody. This is your Wednesday Team Prosperity meeting, and I'm so excited to be here with everybody. It's April 1st, 2020, and I'm excited to catch you up on some events that are happening, as well as David Chase and Mike Amos have some great stuff that they're going to go over, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I appreciate everybody being here, as well as the people taking the time to be on the recording and listen to that. I know how valuable everybody's time is. And April 1st, 2020, can you believe it? I can't believe that we're already in April. So I hope that this has been, a huge year for you. If not, we're here to help make that happen. I wanted to go over a few announcements. The first thing that I want to talk about is April is Financial Literacy Month. What an exciting time to talk to people about financial literacy. It's going to be, another great topic that we can talk about with potential clients as well as business partners, and just another way to get people looking at what we're doing, which is always really important. This came out via email a little while back. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, that consumers are panic shopping for life insurance. Right now, this is a great time for our business. We're really well positioned to help a lot of families right now, not just with our products, because everybody's thinking about their health, everybody's thinking about their mortality, but also as a really viable way that they can, earn good money for themselves and their families from home. So we've really, who's got it better than us? Really nobody right now. So pretty exciting. Mike actually posted this Forbes article in our Facebook group. So if you need this, let me know. Otherwise, it is in the Facebook group from yesterday. The next thing that I want to talk about is when you go into MyWFG, just like a lot of other places that you would go, the COVID-19 outbreak is like the first thing that you see. And if you click on it, there's a lot of resources that WFG has provided for us, one of which is a list of carriers that are going to do non-med for our clients. Now, we already know about Transamerica, the LB, under $250,000 if they're under 60 at standard, or the IUL, same type of thing. But also Nationwide has some options that are non-med, as well as a lot of final expense companies, Everest, Gerber, and it looks like American General and United of Omaha have options as well for non-medical underwriting. So we do have a lot of options for people that are nervous about getting a medical exam right now. So if you need this information, again, it's on MyWFG, or I can shoot it over to you. Just let me know. Another announcement is Crump. They're all misplaced working from home. So if you're calling for annuity illustrations and strategy, they're definitely available. They're picking that line and that portion of Crump up faster than they are the permanent life insurance illustration portion. So if you need permanent life insurance illustrations, you might have to leave them a voicemail. If so, always follow it up with an email to TFN, like a Transamerica Financial Network Life Illustrations at crump.com. That will give you those illustrations via email faster. You can also reference that you had left a voicemail. Now, if you're looking for term life comparisons for their, hundreds of different carriers, we can actually do that ourselves online. So if you need a term comparison, reach out to your upline or to me, and we can help you with that as well. You don't have to call for the terms. And those of you that were working with Julie Stewart's right-hand woman, Leah Christensen, she's actually going to be merging to another Crump department. So she's not going to be a huge help like she has been, which is fine. I mean, Julie is amazing. We have a full, staff there. Just wanted to give you a heads up. If you're reaching out to Leah and you're not getting the response as quickly as you want, it's probably because she's in a different department. So wanted to let you know about that. This came through yesterday, and it's effective today. And this is another thing that I saw yesterday, and I just thought it was incredibly impressive. And even though Raja is not on our team, I thought that his story was really motivational. So I just wanted to grab a quick screenshot here. Looks like Raja came to WFG in 2008, and he was a former taxi driver. And he has now reached executive chairman. Very, very impressive. So even though he's not on our team, I just wanted to show you all that it doesn't matter your background, your religious views, your sexual orientation, any of that stuff. This platform recognizes hard work, doing the right thing for people, building a strong team, really impressive stuff. So that's pretty much all I have. This is the time to go for it. Like I said, we're perfectly positioned for all of this. I'm a strong believer, and there's only now, you have today, you have the present to make it happen. So let us know how we can help you. I'm going to go ahead and bring up David Chase. I know he's got a great presentation, and I'm going to also grab Mike, and he's going to help David click through it. Here you go, Mike. Thank you.
All right, David, I'm going to pull your slides up. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, and just when you're ready to go to the next one, just say next. Hey, David, you got to unmute your audio. Star 6, David. All right, I'll wait a few more seconds for you, David. If not, we'll just move on.
Can you hear me?
No, it's just terrible audio.
Well,
that's fine.
I'm going to call in again. I hit star 6 5 times, and it won't let me in.
I can hear him.
Okay, I can hear you. Go ahead. Let me pull up the slide. But yeah,
okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to call in again.
Okay, that's fine. All right, guys, while David's calling in, we've got a couple of partners that are actually right now recovering from Corona. We've got a couple of partners that are waiting on tests, so you guys stay safe. We're thinking about you guys that are trying to recover right now or waiting on tests. But let us know what we can do for any of you guys right now. It's a great time to be in this business. I know there's a lot going on, macro speaking in terms of the stock market, in terms of what's going on with this illness that's spreading around. But what you want to do right now is stay positive, stay calm, and understand that people greatly need advice. They need guidance. They need leadership at this time on both the business partner side as well as the client side. And we'll give David just a second to call back in. David's got a few slides, guys, on the IUL calculator. If you are a financial professional or you're looking to take over that role, in the coming future, this is a great tool because remember, when you're explaining stuff to people, words get lost, words get mixed up, words get lost in translation. When you're able to show side-by-side comparisons of what A versus B can do, that's a big help in creating a buying decision. All right, David.
I can't even get in. Hang on a second. The phone calls aren't going through. I can't even get the phone number to work. Hang on a second. I'm sorry.
It's a little fuzzy, but we'll just have to work with it.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I can't even get through. Verizon won't even connect the call right now. So I don't know what's happening. I'm going to try to lower my volume so you can hear me. Tell me if it's better. Is that any better now?
Yeah, just roll with it. It's fine.
Okay, listen, everybody, I'm really sorry about this, but I really want to talk to you about a few things. I've got some really interesting conversations over the last 2 or 3 days. Understand, even when this virus goes away, and it will, who knows when, but sooner than later, I hope, business as usual will never be the same. And that's how I'm ending up having these conversations with people. And they understand it. I think we are positioned to be in a great place right now. I was talking to Mike last night a little bit. A lot of people get very wealthy during panic times and pandemics and other things. And it's sad that this might be the catapult for our company. It just might be our catalyst. But man, what an opportunity. I want to share something with you that I'm exploring and I already bought, and I'm working on it. It's called an IUL calculator and versus a 401k. And I'm going to tell you, you can talk all you want all day long to people, I believe this is going to be a game changer. I bought it. It's $5 for the first 30 days. Then it's $70 a month to rent this calculator. People are looking for answers. Again, the stock market is wildly going crazy. I don't know when we're going to come out of this. I really beg that we come out of this sooner or later, everybody. This is my day 25. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm getting a little crazy, but there's nothing I can do about it. So here we are. You can move on to the next slide, Michael. I want to show this a little bit so you can see what we're talking about. I met the gentleman actually who created this thing. Got a great conversation with him. So understand the first thing we do when we talk to people is, are you retirement ready or not? You'll see that this has just your current plan. Let's review your current plan. That's all you're going to talk to people about to get started with this thing. Let's review your current plan. Would you like to see where you are? It's pretty amazing that this thing will tell you so many things. I wish I could highlight the things that pop up all over this calculator so you can see. You can change everything here. You can change the current age. You can change the stop saving age. Change the retirement age. Working tax rate. And if you hover over that little thing, it pops up. How much do you make? This is your tax rate. In a retirement tax, all these things that hover around it to make it easy for the consumer to take a look at it. You're just going to fill this thing in. That's all you're going to do in the first meeting with this person. Because this is great verbiage. Because like he said to me, this is what he does. And this guy writes $1.2 million worth of IULs a year. Oh, thinking about coming in our business too. Pretty amazing. He said, my team and I will find a plan. Would you like, if my team and I will find a plan to improve your plan, and if you don't like any part of it when we meet again in 24 to 48 hours, you just basically hang up on me. It's okay. And then you can move to the next slide, Michael, for a second, please. I don't know. Next slide. Well, we missed it. That's okay. Well, the next slide is going to have the comparison in which you put their numbers in. I don't know what happened to it, but that's okay. We'll work around this, and I apologize for all the craziness going on with my computer and my phone. You could put it in the policy illustrations. It's got 4 or 5 of these carriers already, Pac Life's in it, Minnesota Life's in it. You can download anything from Transamerica, from any carrier out there to put this policy illustration in. It's what's cool about it. It gives you the annual cost of the policy, which is people complain about when they have an increasing cost, increasing death benefit. When you look down here at age 71, when they stop paying, the cost of insurance goes way down. So it's a fallacy when people tell you the cost of insurance is high. And look, I'm still learning this, everybody. I am still watching the videos intently. This is an opportunity that I think is a game changer for any financial professional in our team. I'm learning this thing. It is not easy, but I'm going to overcome it. I'm learning 2 things at once right now. I'm learning all about WealthWave. I joined WealthWave as of Monday. I had the privilege of working with Anthony Gumbali, who helped me a little bit getting it started. Lots of work to do on there, but it's a fabulous tool. And anybody who wants to compare this thing, if you can move a slide, Michael, I don't know if you'll find the other slides or not. That would help. There it is. That's the slide I'm talking about. There you go. So you come back and you show these people, look, you filled in everything, and when you ask them their current plan fees before, you ask them your current plan return on rate of return, you ask them, and next to all these little features has exactly what you can show them. Current plan fees, did you all know that every 401k has a 0.88% or 8.88 to 1.88% fees, depending upon the size of the 401k? And then they hover it over, and if they're in a mutual fund, there's 4.17 fees. And nobody even talks about. They're on page 245 of your prospectus. So they're real numbers here. This isn't fake. The inflation rate comes up. The retirement tax rate comes up. Easy question. Do you think taxes are going to go up or down in this country? Well, you hover over that little thing, and it pops up. What do you think? What pops up? The debt of this country. that we all talk about. Now we're going to 25, 26, 27, maybe $30 trillion before this thing is over. Really? You want to pay those kind of taxes? There it is, 30% tax rate. Look at the difference advantage. You just go to line one. If you're in a 401k, you got to put $20,000 in to the $15,000 of the tax-free plan. There's a 25% tax bracket right in front of you. The bottom line, as Mike Ginsberg always says, two things are very important to the client. Your money runs out at age 72, or your money runs out at age 110, and your total advantage is $1.14 million. Are you kidding me? And then with the tax-free plan, 990 additional tax-free income and death benefits. Income until you die, then a tax-free death benefit. This, to me, is a game changer. I have been studying this thing for 2 to 3 years, everybody. And I'm getting some issues that people, my computer is definitely on the fritz. I don't know what's going on with it. It's going to be a phone call today. Yes, this calculator, Dan, has 401k. It's got it all set up, Roth 401k also. It's all pre-populated. You know, if you want information from me, give me a call, please. Give me a call. We can have a conversation. I'll share my screen with you. I'll show you anything you want to know that I know about it. As I continue to learn this, the videos down below this thing are all there. I've spent evenings studying. I'm still not even close to becoming proficient at this thing, but I'm getting better at it every day. Again, look, would you rather run out of money at 72 or 110? Would you rather put $1.146 million in your pocket? It's the easiest conversation you'll have with anybody. You know, we can talk all we want as people, we can, but numbers don't lie. So the first part of this is you're going to get the client involved in their current plan, and you're not going to go any further. You just don't. You don't go anywhere from there, and you make another appointment, and you know the 48-hour rule or less, and you go back and you put these numbers in and say, hey, Mr. or Ms. Client, here are the numbers now against it. You gave me the numbers up front. I plugged them in. This is it. It is vivid. And I'm sorry, I got noise in the background that people are doing they're cleaning up the garbage here or whatever they're doing. Look, anybody who wants the opportunity to learn with me, please do. I think this is a game changer for anybody who's writing business. Facts are facts. Talk is talk. There it is in black and white. It's easy for people to understand. It's easy for people to grasp. And as soon as I learn more, and I'm practicing with some of my friends on it. I mean, what else can I do? I got to learn. So that doesn't mean I'm going to write, but I'm going to ask some of my friends if they'll work with me on this thing. So we can learn it together. And if I make a mistake, so what? They don't care. But if I get it right and come back to them, at least this way, in part of the video, it says, hey, call your friends, call the closest people you know, and practice on them. So I'm practicing on them. That's 2, 3, and 4. And the last thing I'm going to say, and I appreciate the time because I know Mike's got a lot to say. To those who, oh, there you go, let's compare. Okay, cool. Look at the difference. I didn't even see this, but that's part of this. Look, what a difference. Again, numbers don't lie. People can talk all they want, including myself, but there are the numbers. They are absolutely astonishing, and they don't lie to anybody. It's just a fact. Next thing I will tell you, once I learn how to use my Zelle, and those who are on this call right now, those who are on this call, thank you, Heather. You can talk to me soon. I'm going to find a way to, we got our money back from the leads, and I apologize. Mike and I took a shot, but we got our money back. As soon as I can figure out how to Zelle the money back to you, it's in my account now as of today. Maybe I have Alana help me with it. It's all coming back to you. Thank you for participation. And guys, thank you for letting me speak, and I'm looking forward to anybody who wants to engage with me. Just give me a call, text me, and we'll set up a time. Thanks.
All right, David, thanks a lot. So, guys, what I want to go through today is just some information that hopefully will help you kind of understand where we are, what you need to do for your business in terms of activity, mindset, the results that you should be expecting from your activity, and then if you're not getting those results, what you can possibly do to alleviate blockages and other things that are standing in your way of actually getting those results. So it's April the 1st, like Alana said. Year is moving by quickly. There's a lot of issues right now, but we've got, like we always talk about, we're not products, not opportunity, but solutions to problems in the marketplace. And when you get your mind wrapped around how to go out and talk solutions versus product and opportunity, it makes conversations a lot easier for you, makes conversations a lot easier for the other side. Guys, we're wrapped in a bear market right now. The bear market was initiated by the coronavirus, but it's going to have after effects. So when you look at what's happening, and no one can tell you where the market's going to go. But the way I see this is we're going to be gripped in a bear market for a little while, and it may get worse. You could have pockets of times where the market bounces intensely like you've seen, but you've got a virus with an unknown outcome. You've got the impact is going to be not over quickly, and you've got gigantic debt that's being added all around the world. So you have economic damage, you have high debt, and you have ultra-low interest rates. Well, what's wrong with ultra-low interest rates? Well, over the next few years, those rates will be rising, and when you guys know as consumers, when you owe debt and that interest rate starts to rise, the amount that you need to service that debt dramatically increases. What governments need to do is no different. So understand that coming out of this, you may get pockets of recovery, but I'm expecting that the market is going to have a long, winding road for the next few years. So what does that mean for our business? Well, protections, guarantees, lifetime income, all of this stuff that we constantly preach on the client side is more important than ever. So once again, if you've got clients on the sidelines right now, they're just going to wait and see what the market does. That's not a plan of action. That's a hope and a pray mentality, and that will leave them with an empty bag. One of the things that we have to do right now, remember, people's attention span is very short to begin with, but right now everybody has a lot more on their mind. So if you've got appointments that, for example, you make on a Friday and that's for a Monday, you need to touch base with that person, email, text, call, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and make sure they understand and confirm that appointment. Anything outside of 24, 48 hours max has to be confirmed. You want to try to keep those appointments within 24 to 48 hours, but if there's something that comes up that can absolutely not have them in that window period of time, confirm that appointment. You'll see your show rates start to, keep pace versus those show rates start to dramatically decline. Do the little things for your business, and the results will follow. So in the WHAM group this weekend, I got asked, what were those key metrics again that we look for? Well, we do keep up the activity sheet. And when you look at connections, messages, all those things are important. But new videos sent, follow-up, calls made, text messages, prospects reached, out-of-pocket term question, and ABC calls is the meat of our activity sheet. That's the precursor that's going to lead you, and it's a leading indicator for the tier results on the backside. So remember, if you're having low scores or you don't even know what you're doing day to day or week to week with these particular metrics, then you need to concentrate on this stuff, because this is going to lead you to the tier activity, and tier activity leads you to income, revenue, partner growth, client growth, all the stuff that you're looking for. Well, let's talk a little bit about what is a new video sent, because you need to understand, if you're going to keep track of this, it needs to be in a way that you can actually understand. If I'm going to send out 500 cold emails with videos at the bottom, that's not a new video sent. A new video sent is actually making communication, that tier one contact, speaking with that person, having interest from their side to the point that videos are being sent out. So understand that the conversation leads to the video being sent out. Okay, what's an ABC call? An ABC call means that you have had a tier one contact, you had a conversation, the videos are being sent out, and now you've actually gone back in front of that person and confirmed they watched videos and they've got interest in either speaking with you, if that's your role, or someone else on the managerial side to help with potential partners and clients. An ABC call should never be set with the anticipation and expectation the videos are going to be watched. ABC call is set after the videos are being watched. It's the little things, guys, that if you adapt, it will greatly help your business, because at the end of the month, if you say, oh, I had 25 ABC calls scheduled, I got nothing out of it, but your ABC calls weren't actually defined ABC calls, makes a big difference. So it helps us help you if you get into the mindset of understanding what really counts here. And once again, out-of-pocket term, what is that? Out-of-pocket term means that you've had a conversation with somebody and it's not going to be continuing. And at the end of that conversation, you've brought up, hey, if you don't mind me asking one last question, do you pay out-of-pocket for term life insurance? Just packaging up emails and putting that in there or putting that in LinkedIn messages should not count. Everything's got to be in a way so that when you look at your scores and you're either getting the results or not getting the results that you're looking for, it has to be in a way that helps you understand and helps us, alleviate those blockages. So right now, a lot of people are scrambling. A lot of people are wondering, what's going to happen? What does the future look like? How am I going to create income for my family? What does my, job prospect look like if I'm on furlough? So one of the best things that I have learned that we do as a company is create control. We create control for partners. We create control for clients. And one of the best ways to predict your future is to create it. You've got 4 streams of income: personal income, agency income, expansion income, and bonus income. Your total potential earnings is really up to you. You can build this business as small or as large as you possibly desire, but there's nothing going to be stopping you from building a gigantic business that creates a cash flow asset that pays you a lot of passive income other than learning the system, having activity, being accountable, and developing as an entrepreneur, developing as a leader, and developing the other skill sets in social media and other things that we do. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but I want you guys to understand today, on average, there will be paid $2.3 million. So $2,300,000 today will be paid on this platform. That means in the hour or so that we do this meeting, almost $100,000 will be paid out. The amount of money that's paid on this platform, we always talk about this, in commission to the field, dwarfs a lot of these other opportunities that people bring out in social media, bring out in digital marketing, in that product, gross sales or gross revenue. So understand where you're at, the position of power that you have, and how much money is actually being created on this platform, and be confident that you have a legitimate business opportunity. So if there's money going around hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and that money is a large amount, that's why we're always stressing to you guys. We want to get you guys off to the fastest possible start to access, all of those income streams and get you to a place where you can really start to create the income that you're looking for, that gets you excited about this business, and that gets you excited about attracting other people to this business. So anything that we do inside the system as a team on an individual coaching, mentoring basis, if we're preaching speed, it's not for any other reason to get you to your goals and your dreams faster. So that's why we create deadlines. That's why the system creates, things like the 3 and 30, the 90-day sprint run. All of these things are designed to get you to points faster because think about it, guys. If you were like me in school, if you had a science fair project that, you had 93 months to do, 90 to 120 days to do, I always waited till the last few days to do it, if not the very last day to do it. People will procrastinate. Clients procrastinate. Partners procrastinate. We're all wired to procrastinate. Now, if that science fair project in school, they gave you 2 days to do it, guess what? You're going to get it done. It's the fact that you give a timeline and a deadline so far out that no one really takes it seriously. What happens is when you put pressure, deadlines, timelines on things, people get things done quicker. There's more urgency to that. And what that does, it creates velocity in your organization. The bonus money, when you guys start to access it, it's addicting because when Alana and I got to the end of March yesterday or a few days ago, we were looking at it and we're saying, okay, this is what we need to do to finish up the month strong. Bonus money is the 4th stream of income. You start to access bonus money as a senior vice president running one office. So that's why we stress to you guys, whatever you have to do right now to get up to senior vice president, start to create that office is very important because that extra $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 a month, running a base shop, which will also spur the quarterly bonuses of either $8,000 or $16,000, really makes a difference on that year-end income. If you can add an extra $30,000+ to your income just in bonus money, That's a big deal. So we want to make sure you guys understand we do what we do from our side, and we push you for your own advantages and benefits. Every Tuesday and every Friday, you guys used to be working and looking at your commission statements. Even if you make little to no money in the beginning, understand how you get paid, understand how to read that commission statement, and then bring up questions. Alana got a couple of questions yesterday, and I was excited because I knew people were looking at the commission statements. It's very important that you learn how you get paid at an early part of your development, because when you start getting paid and you start having money coming in from all directions, that's not the time to learn your commission statement. Learn it when you're new. Learn it when there's little activity going on. So as you grow this thing out, you have a basic understanding, and then it's just all about pinpointing places to improve or pinpointing places where there was an issue or a problem, and we can quickly get that resolved. We just finished up week 5 of the 12-week year, so this is week 6 right here. Normally, I have a recap that I sent out. I had 2.5 pages of notes or so. I have no idea. I think my son took them. So there was no recap this week. So basically what I did, I boiled it down into really common questions that we should all be asking ourselves every day. And that's, what are we doing? What are we supposed to be doing? Are we actually doing it? What are we going to do about it? And what do we think is going to happen if we do that again? Remember, good, bad, or ugly, if we continue down the same path, we should expect the same results. If you're in a nice rhythm of activity, it's getting results, and you continue down that pace, you should expect growth. On the other hand, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're drifting, you're not having the rhythm of activity, you're not being accountable, what do you think is going to happen if you continue down that path and continue doing that time and time and time again? Always look and forecast. Is what I'm doing right now any benefit to myself on a personal level, business level, organizational development level? So what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I actually doing it? What am I going to do about it? And what do I think is going to happen if I do that again? Those are the questions that you should be asking yourself all the time while revisiting your vision, your goals, and your dreams. The game changer, and it's kind of odd that they named it this, because 60 days ago, we were in Vegas. I was talking to Alana earlier. Seems like a year or more ago, because so much has changed. But when we were at that convention labeled Game Changer, little did we know what was going to be happening when we got back within a 2-month period of time. Things will never, ever, ever be the same again in our industry. And I want to stress that to you, because it's very important you guys understand the time and the place and history that we are right now. We're no longer trying to prove a digital model in a traditional industry. We're now on the forefront, the spotlight, and even though the virus will pass, things will get back to a sense of normalcy in our industry as well as other industries. Things will never, ever be the same again. Our model, we always felt, was the model for the masses in the future. Future is now. So understand, those same people that told us years back, 2, 3, 4, 5 years back, our model will never be viable. Our model will fail. Our model won't last 2 years. No one will buy into what we're doing. Well, guess what? We've been vindicated, validated, and now we're on the forefront leading the way as a first mover advantage. And we're well positioned. Alana and I continue to talk about this with you guys. We've been in this company for a while. We've seen it grow up. And the things that we have in place right now, the things that we have to offer our partners, our clients, the things that we have to offer inside in terms of a company, an organization, a team, individuals, we're well positioned to take over right now, take market share. And we always talk about, if you're taking market share in a $1 trillion industry, that's a tsunami of money on the move. There are people and money on the move for the next number of years. Understand how to capitalize and take advantage of that. We're also well positioned because, pretty soon in the next few weeks, the final integration will be completed. We'll have WealthWave 360. We'll have Virtual Financial. You guys are going to have so many cool tools to go out there and use that really make you look like, the technology company that we envisioned when we first started. Yeah, VFG Pro was great. All of these websites that we had were great. But what we're doing right now with the integration with WealthWave 60 is going to take us to another level and really prepare us for the next decade to really go in and take market share and create a company that's going to be $1 billion company. Another reason we're well positioned, guys, is we have a new way of thinking and acting, and we've been doing it for a while, but now the rest of the industry is trying to catch on because they basically have to. One of the things you have to realize is when you're out there constantly in a recruiting mindset, that doesn't necessarily work that well. What does work well is prospecting, and they're not the same thing. This can be a real easy process if you don't force it. Remember, you're not trying to convince people to come into this company. You're just out there opening conversations, getting to know people, asking questions, uncovering information that leads to problems they're having. And then if that problem is something that we can offer a solution and an action step for, great. If not, just continue to network, continue to build those conversations and have those conversations. But understand that if you're constantly out there thinking that everybody you're going to talk to is going to be a client or going to be a partner, first of all, that's going to become a grind for you. Second of all, we don't want everybody in this company as a partner or a client. We have personas. We have filters. We're trying to bring in the right people. And in this industry, guys, selling insurance is hard. If this was about selling insurance, there's a 0% chance that I would be here. Marketing insurance is far easier for you and the client. You're not forcing things down people's throat. You're having conversations, and you're letting people actually talk, and that leads to buying decisions. And once again, marketing, selling, prospecting, recruiting, very, very different. Understand the differences and understand how to perfect your game out there and be somebody that actually people want to talk to, can come to, and feel comfortable with. The giants of this company are going to be coming in over the next year, 18 months, 24 months, whatever it is. Right now, if you're brand new or if you've been here a year or two, we are still talent scouts, guys. If you find people, bring them into our community, and they run wild on this platform, guess what? You get richly rewarded for being able to do one thing, master the tier 1 contact and have a lot of activity at the top of that circle. If you're good at that circle and opening up conversations just by the law of numbers, those conversations will build a pipeline. That pipeline will build outcomes. Some of those will be positive. Some of those will be negative, but out of those positive outcomes, partners, clients, and out of those partners, some of those may be able to help build multiple legs of multi-million-dollar distribution around this country. So never, ever get, never get upset about the process. You got to love the process, good, bad, or ugly. Don't worry about day in, day out. Understand that if you do what you need to do, and you develop and you get better at what you need to do, and you learn prospecting, you learn marketing, then things are going to work out for you. You've got to be able right now to put in a little bit of short-term pain. And what I mean by short-term pain is long working hours. Everybody's basically quarantined right now. Stay at home for most of the states. You got to put in some long hours right now. You've got to open the conversations, because what you do right now can have an immediate impact on your business, but it can also have huge positive long-term ripple effects and gains for your business. So put in the hours right now. Don't necessarily be focused on results. Focus on activity, because where this industry is headed and where our company is and what we're poised to do in this industry, you have an excellent opportunity to go out there and make things happen right now. Your activity on a day-to-day basis is defined by two things: business activity, the things that you need to do, and the marketing activities, things that produce what will eventually be business activity. So get the things that you need to get done every day on the business side, but also realize that that marketing side creates the pipeline that ends up fueling business activity. So a good 1-2 combination punch of business activity as well as marketing activities is going to get your business built. And the good thing about our platform is that you've got a ton of help. So if you don't want to do something, don't feel comfortable doing something, lack the skill set to do something, and a lot of other models, guess what? You're forced to wear that hat. Here, pass that roll off. We'll be glad to help you. It's really a 1, 2, 3 step, guys, and it's very, very easy to understand our business model. You have a marketing funnel that you create. That marketing funnel creates leads. Those leads go into the CRM, and through what we do, the follow-up, the personas, the filters, everything that we have in place, that produces outcomes. And like I said, you have no control over the outcomes. The outcomes are going to vary. Some will be good, some will be bad. Like we talk about, you have control over what you do in your marketing funnel. You have control over how you put things in the CRM, how you follow up in the CRM. But ultimately, those two things, marketing, CRM, will lead to outcomes. Outcomes will lead to partners. Outcomes will lead to clients. And like we talk about, some of those partners will be that key group that creates distribution. One of the things that you guys have to learn about marketing is don't give everything away. Create interest. If you give everything away, there's no need to talk to you. So if you've laid everything out on a post or everything out on an email or everything out on a message, there's no reason for somebody to talk to you. If you create enough interest where they say, well, yeah, I would like to know more about that, or yeah, I would like to talk to you about that, that gives you the opportunity to talk to people. And once again, we cannot hide behind the keyboards. We've got to create interest and get on the phone. The phone is the #1 tool of this business. So yes, platforms, digital marketing, everything that we have is great, but those are designed to do one thing and one thing only. Push conversations from those platforms to the phone. Business is created on the phone on both the client as well as the partner side. So once again, don't give away everything up front. Create interest, and then that creates conversation. And we talk about this. There's a video on the YouTube channel that if you guys have not seen or you need to go back and re-reference, please do. The front doors of our business in a virtual world are the Tier 1 contact and the Tier 1 confirm. Like we talk about, you need to let people know that you're actually in business. If you had a brick and mortar retail or whatever it might be and you turned off your lights and locked your doors, the possibility that somebody's going to come in as a customer is 0%. Same thing here. If you don't let people know in a virtual world that you're in business, no one's going to come into your business. And then secondarily, you have the ability with filters, personas, like we always talk about, to let the right people in. You don't want a bunch of people in your virtual office that have no advantage for you being there. Whether it's a client or a partner, we're trying to create mutually beneficial relationships on both sides. If it's not a mutually beneficial relationship, probably doesn't belong in your office. And that Tier 1 contact is going to fuel the rest of the system. The Tier 1 gives you leeway. You can do, once again, and I stress this, if it's compliant, you can do it. You can do whatever you want to market, and that gives you the ability to build a personal brand, go out there and try some things, market some things, and see what works and doesn't work. But once that Tier 1 contact and confirm has been created, and that person, that prospect enters that circle, everything remains the same. And when everything remains the same, it creates duplication and it creates an exit strategy for us. Like we always talk about, it may stroke your ego that people are constantly needing your help, asking you questions, but that's not going to get us where we want to go. We want to be at a point one day where we can step aside and really no one will miss us. And the Tier 1 dictates the schedule. You have to be confident. Even though you may be brand new and you might not know anything about the business, anything about our products, much at all, you may just pass your license, you want to be confident in what you have to offer, the business opportunity as well as the client side, and confidence will come out. Confidence will come out whether you know much at all about our business or not. Tier 1 dictates the schedule and the communication. I always use the takeaway. I use the takeaway with clients. I use the takeaway with partners. For example, on the partner side, it's an interview process. On the client side, a lot of this stuff they have to apply. If it's medically underwritten or if it's financially underwritten, we don't know if they can be approved or not. So always take away. Remember, it's human nature to want something that they necessarily can't have. So when you take things away and dictate the schedule, people are going to fall in line and do exactly what you say, or they're not, and then guess what? You create another filter, which is great. We talk about this. The phone time is going to get you past the learning curve in the quickest, most efficient way. So if I was brand new, my main goal every day would be to put as much phone time as I can, because that way I'm getting the rocks out of my mouth, I'm feeling more confident, I'm developing my language and verbiage, and I'm starting to hear reactions from the other side. Reactions from the other side allow me to get better at what I'm doing, so the next time that reaction or the next time that question comes up, I'm better equipped to handle it or answer it. So once again, the phone is the most important tool that we have, especially in the beginning. You should be putting a lot of phone time in and not worrying about how great or how terrible the conversations are. Just the number of conversations is important. When you are to the point that you are getting Tier 1 ABCs or client calls, you're getting intro calls on LinkedIn, whatever it is, You cannot be the person that dominates that conversation. Remember, if you're trying to uncover information, all you're doing is shoving and cramming information down the other person's throat, you're never going to get that information. I go into every one of my calls with a piece of paper or a Word document pulled up if I'm not on the screen share, knows exactly the questions that I want to ask. I'm asking them, I'm writing down the answers they have. Those answers lead us both, without them really knowing, to some type of a defined endpoint. So opening the conversation, continuing the conversation, and directing the conversation is what we're trying to do every time. What I found, what Alana finds, is if we don't go in there structured, if we're not sure what we're supposed to be doing, you're just going to be talking in circles. Nothing's going to be accomplished. By the end of the call, neither side really knows what to do. So you may know a lot about this company if you've been here for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it might be, but the other side does not need all that information. It's going to paralyze them. You need to have the other side talk. That's the most important thing. So you have to learn how to listen. And if, once again, you're coming off conversations where you dominated that conversation, that is a bad sign and a bad leading indicator, not only immediately, but going down the road as a manager, as a financial professional, whatever the roles that you're going to take on, learn how to listen. And if you learn how to listen on the upfront intro calls, the tier 1 contacts, all of the things that we all do, then as you become a leader, as you become a manager, as you become a financial professional, if you choose to do that, you're already in a position, a mindset where you understand the importance of listening. Listening to the other side is going to give you everything that you need to, once again, continue and direct that conversation. Follow your schedule. A lot of us struggle with follow-up, and I understand that. Myself, Alana, we're the same way. But if you have a schedule, in other words, if I go to the CRM and I've got somebody in there I need to follow up with and I'm not sure what to send next, what to say, that's a problem. If I'm in the CRM and I've got a schedule that I follow, then it's very easy. I know the next step, exactly what to do, how to do it, why to do it. So your website, your social media strategy, your online strategy, your communication strategies creates a schedule. You follow that schedule, it's as easy as just going through the motions, going through the mechanics of doing what you need to do to resolve the lead. And once again, if you are resolving leads and dumping leads because of non-communication, that's very different from resolving and dumping leads from having communication and figuring out that they don't fit into your persona, they don't fit into a partner, they don't fit into a client. There's really nothing that we can do to help them. Also understand that, we have free services that we can tap into. So if you've got partners coming in and they're low on money, we're not asking them to spend money, but we are asking them if it's a free tool to use it every single day. You can get 50 free GMATs a day. And the reason I preach this, guys, is because A, it's activity, but B, if you've got an organization of 30, 40, 50 people and every one of those people is sending out emails, they're doing the activity every day, the compounding the factor of that grows very, very large, and all of a sudden you've got tons of emails going out, tons of phone calls being made every day, tons of LinkedIn messages going out every day. So A, you have to set the example, and then once you do, B, you have to get people to follow that example. Automation is going to help us. I did an experiment in the last 12-week year where I did zero automation, I did zero paid marketing. I had to get some of my automation back, and it took a while. For example, Linked Helper took a while to build up that pipeline again to the point where it's getting intro calls on a continuous basis. I had 3 or 4 yesterday. I got a few ABC calls from that today. So if a platform like LinkedIn is not working for you, either A, you're not working it correctly, or B, there's problems with your profile, your messages, or what you're delivering as far as content. So if you're having problems on LinkedIn, first question we're going to ask you is what you're doing. If you're doing what we're asking you, we're going to go in and help you guys. But automation is a key. It saves us from ourselves. It allows us to be organized, and that free time that it unleashes on us can be spent in other areas. And once again, if you're freeing up time with automation and it's being invested into other parts of your business, great. If you're freeing up time with automation and you're taking that time and wasting it, automation's got some value, but it's way more limited than if you're taking those hours and putting it back into your business. Your goal is to reach the prospects in the research phase to influence the purchase decision early on. And we talked about this before as well. We're not selling cars. We're not selling home appliances. This isn't something that somebody's going to do research on when they're ready to purchase that. Our research phase is ongoing. People are always thinking about retirement, always thinking about ways to get ahead, always thinking about ways to take care of their family. So when you look at this, social media advertising, especially mobile, is the single biggest opportunity in the history of advertising. You have to, accept that. You have to believe it. And you have to go out there and work towards this. You're not going to be a social media expert overnight. There's nobody on this call, including myself, that's a social media expert. But guess what? We're way better than we were a few years ago, and we continue to get better at everything that we do. The opportunities, the tools, the information that we can pass down to new partners versus what we could do 3 or 4 years ago has greatly increased. So what we're doing is creating better generational opportunities for the people that come in after us, and that will continue to get better and better and better. Social media creates an environment where you can talk directly to potential partners or in clients, get that engagement, and once again, engagement can lead to conversations being pushed off those platforms onto our most important tool, once again, which is the phone. So 1, 2, 3 steps, and I'm not going to go into Instagram and Twitter and all of this. I want people starting with LinkedIn, and then once you're comfortable with LinkedIn, go over to Facebook. These 2 platforms have the exact same approach, in my opinion, in terms of connection, engagement, and messaging. LinkedIn is a 100% professional site. Facebook is more of a personal interest site, but essentially you're doing the same thing. How you create content, how you go out there and talk to people is going to be a little bit varied, but the end game is still the same. Connections, engagement, messaging, 1, 2, 3 to the phone. When you talk about yourself all the time, people are going to tune you out. But when you share relevant content and resources that fit your prospects' value identifiers, they actually look forward to hearing from you. And this is important on social media. If you post 10 posts and 9 of those posts are about, the business opportunity or something directly related to selling product, people are going to lose interest in you, lose interest in what you post, and tune out. When you're giving something that educates them, entertains them, gives them something they're looking for, guess what? They get excited about seeing what you have to offer. And then what we teach you guys is, okay, if you're doing that, pepper in an advertisement on the client side, pepper in an advertisement on the business opportunity side. It'll get far more reaction and far more eyes than if you continually do that same thing over and over and over again. LinkedIn is where we start. LinkedIn is king. LinkedIn is king of all the platforms for organic growth and organic reach right now. Outside of having the activity and doing what you're supposed to day in, day out. Also, it will greatly help you if you spend a little bit of time on YouTube every week just learning how to get better at LinkedIn, how to perfect your engagement, how to perfect some of your content, how to get more people into your audience that are looking at your things, impressions. So all of these things that if we continue to get better at have great impacts on our business, both near term and long term. Because remember, if you learn something, guess what? Now you can teach other people. Outside of just doing what we need you guys to do on LinkedIn, be a real person on LinkedIn. Somebody has a new job or a promotion or an anniversary, congratulate them. Build relationships. That opens more conversations. Alana and I open a lot of conversations just from saying, hey, congratulations on your new job. Let me know if I can add value to what you're doing or if I can help you in any way. If you'd like to set up an intro call. It's the same thing, guys. We're just being personable. We're showing interest in the other side, and we're always putting ourselves out there. Hey, if you want to talk, let's talk. Understand where your audience spends time online. And once again, if you've got something that you're putting out there and it's not optimized for mobile, guess what? You're losing a big part of your audience. So understand that, people are on their phone, and understand that when people are on their phone, there's some things that you have to do to catch their attention. Image is up to 90% of the advertisement. And when I say advertisement, I'm not just talking about paid. I'm talking about anything that you post. The image, the colors, what it looks like is going to be the first thing somebody sees, and that needs to stop them from scrolling on their phone long enough to see the verbiage. Phone is the new TV. And when you guys understand this, how powerful this is, Facebook and Instagram are like networks on that TV. Your video ads are basically like TV ads that are shown on those networks. Your brand is like the channel. Facebook posts are equivalent to old school newspaper ads, and Instagram posts are equivalent to those old school glossy magazine ads. If we were running a TV commercial, guess what? It's at a certain time, it's on a certain channel, it's on a certain space, and if somebody missed it, guess what? They missed it. Here, you can target, people can go back to it. So understand the power of what we have, not only as a business with our assets, but in terms of the macro environment of what we have to use, the tools out there. Get better at what you do, go out there, don't be afraid to fail, and then make sure that as you fail, you're learning from that. Crowd psychology, this is a big thing. There's a lot of people out there, we call it the herd mentality. You want to, make sure you don't get involved in that crowd psychology or herd mentality, but also you want to understand what that means for you as a marketer, as somebody who's going out there and talking to people, because once you understand herd mentality, you can start talking people out of herd mentality if they pick up the signs. Herd mentality right now is thinking contraction. You want to think expansion. That's very, very important. You want to think expansion of your personal income. You want to think expansion of your agency income, and then of course expansion income and bonus income. So if you're new, you want to be thinking about what can I do now to make money, and then what can I be doing now to set me up for the other streams of the income. You also, in terms of expansion, want to understand the advantages that we have as far as a raw numbers perspective over our competitors in the industry. You also want to understand, and when you look, and we might run just a few minutes long, guys, I apologize, but when I was talking with, or I wasn't talking, I connected a call yesterday with Corey Newmiller and Bill Mitchell, because Corey's securities license, and we're getting him set up at TFA, but there were some interesting things that came out of the conversation. And, when you're thinking contract, you are not thinking about leveraged income. When you have a system to put into, and another reason why you see all the turnover in our industry is because, somebody has a 120-point contract, now somebody has a 125-point contract. People are going to leave for 1 basis point, 1 percentage point if they don't have ownership. When you have a system that people bought into that creates ownership, you're going to have retention here. And once again, going back to the contracts, guys, when somebody says they have a X percentage contract, most of the time they don't even know what that means. Are they getting a 12-month advance, 6-month advance, 9-month advance? Are they getting renewals and residuals? So understand, just a number, not as black and white as being able to evaluate that. We are looking for dedicated distribution partners. And I put a little map over here to kind of give you guys an insight of what, I kind of look at this as. I build offices, more offices spring out of that, but you're looking for dedicated distribution partners. When you create dedicated distribution partners, you create ownerships, and you lock people in with ownership. Another thing that came out of that conversation that I think was a really good way to look at what we do is we are building a company, or you are building a company inside of a company. You don't work for Virtual Financial. You don't work for the IMO. You are working for yourself, but you are essentially building a company within a company. So when somebody asks what this opportunity is, you have the opportunity with all the infrastructure in place, all the partnerships in place, to build a company within a company. We want you to become 1% better than you did yesterday. Just be 1% better today. And you've got to have commitments. And the 5 commitments of great teams: commit to giving 100% to yourself, your partners, this business, the community, the people that you serve. Commit to getting better. Commit to staying positive. Commit to the team's mission, and commit to each other. If you can make a commitment to yourself, make a commitment to activity, accountability, your teammates, your partners, the mission, the cause that we have as a whole, things get easier for you in terms of knowing what you need to do and being confident going out there and doing it. Why would somebody follow you, me, our company, etc.? Well, the strength of character, the trust factor, competence, and connections. There is no such thing as a perfect leader, but we can do a really good job with commitment and consistency. I'm in this for 2 reasons. Number 1, to make a lot of money. And number 2, to help you guys make a lot of money. And this is not going to be a success for me unless I've got a big team and that whole team is winning. So yes, there are selfish reasons to come in this business, but there's also selfless reasons to come in this business, both on the partner and the client side. So once again, Alana and I are here to help you guys. And when we have this team across the country and we're all making good money, we're all meeting on social occasions, it's going to be a really good time. And we're going to look back at this, at all the hard work that we've done, and we're going to feel a huge sense of accomplishment. Are you a good student of the system? That's what you need to understand. If you're a good student of this, if you're constantly learning about the tiers, constantly learning at ways to get better at what you do inside this circle, only positive things are going to come out of that. And so when you look at building, you need to understand the systems in place to create ownership, create distribution, but also create independence and duplication. So if I call you, I email you, I text you, when I see a note coming through the CRM, I say, what is this? This has nothing to do with our system. Don't get hurt. Don't get upset. Don't get mad. We're trying to help you guys. We're trying to get you from point A to point B in a straight line. Point A to point B, and this, whatever this is underneath, is going to create confusion, and it's never going to get you to your goal. So once again, if we point out something that says, this has nothing to do with our system, don't get mad. Understand this is for the benefit of you both today and the benefit of you tomorrow and down the road, so that you can make this work for you. Words have power, and words have power in marketing. Words have power in client presentations, and it's very important you guys understand, if you just switch up some of your words, it can be a very, very powerful determining factor in getting you the results that you're looking for. Effective communication skills. When you're talking about, for example, living benefits, there's two ways to talk about living benefits. And yes, when we're training a partner, we have to know what a terminal illness is. We have to know what a critical illness is. We have to know what a chronic illness is. But when we're talking to clients, guess what? The client, it's negative talk to talk about organ transplant, renal failure, all of these things that, none of us probably think we're ever going to have happen to us. If it does or does not happen, that's beside the point. What the client wants to know is they're taken care of. So don't talk about conditions. Talk about benefits. Hey, if something were to happen to you, now you've got money coming in that can pay your medical bills, pay your regular bills, offer income replacement. So there's two different ways to look and talk about something. Understand how to talk about something in a positive way, and once again, a very elementary kindergarten way when you're talking to clients, because it makes a big difference. If you talk over their head, you're going to lose them, and they're not going to ask you to clarify yourself. Also, when you're talking about possibilities, possibilities can be negative, possibilities can be positive. So understand that sometimes it is important to reflect on what could possibly happen on, if somebody doesn't take the right retirement road. But it's also a lot better, warm, positive conversation if you talk about, hey, if you were to do this, these are the possibilities. Wouldn't you like to have this as a possibility? Wouldn't you like to create a lifestyle that you want? Wouldn't you like to take care of your family? Wouldn't you like to avoid taxes? Wouldn't you like to do all this? And if you did, what does your life look like? So once again, two ways to talk about things. Understand what your clients want to hear and adapt that. You guys have to get out of your comfort zone. We all struggle with it. It's easy to stay inside the comfort zone. That's where, it's what it is. It's your comfort zone. You feel comfortable. You have to wake up the sleeping giant, especially right now. David referenced this. I talked about him. In times of panic, in times of crisis, there's lies opportunity. In that first Steve Seabolt video on the How Money Works page, the rich get rich by solving problems. You are solving problems right now on the client and the partner side. If you're willing to go out there, not everybody's going to agree with your message. Not everybody's going to be, wanting to talk to you. You can't make everybody happy. You can't be liked by everybody. That's not what this is all about. This is about the right kind of people raising their hand to your messages, your posts, your phone calls, and saying, yes, I want to talk to you. Setting goals is the first step to turning the invisible into the visible. So if you don't have any goals, how are you going to get there? And that's very, very important. So understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, what you want out of this. Failure happens, guys. If you have a fear of failure, then you're probably going to fail over the long run. If you don't have a fear of failure, you're going to fail in the short term. Expect it, embrace it, excel beyond it. Remember, failure is just part of the success path. It's just the stepping stones that lead you up to success. If you have a failure, not a big deal. Learn from it, move on. Just understand it's part of the process. Showing up is half the battle, and that's in a lot of things in life. And I think a lot of times we retreat, we get back into that comfort zone. If you guys will just show up every day, do what you need to do. Things are going to start moving in a positive direction for you. Every single day you've got to do it. There's no start and stop to this business. If you put, the pedal to the floor for 60 days and then ease off for another 60 days, those first 60 days pretty much are like it never happened. You've got to stay continuous with this, and if you do, the gradual progression of what you're doing day in and day out will build that pipeline. Also you've got to understand that when you go out, it's not what we do, how we do it, but it's why we do it. Why does your organization do what it does? Why are you in here? Why are your partners in here? Why are we in here? Why do we do what we do? People are going to buy into your why. One of the things that we do, why we do it, is because we are on a mission, and our cause is to spread financial literacy, teach people how money works, and that's because America is ranked only 16th in the world in financial literacy. So once again, the digital aspects of what we do is great. Combine that with a mission and cause that we just adopted within the last 6 to 9 months, and you've got a powerful product that you can go out there on both sides of the business. Remember, How Money Works message is very receptive in the marketplace, and from that, you get partners. From that, you get clients, and from that, you get bridges over to other people. On the book, now I know the book's kind of taken a back seat lately. The book is still, an important part of what we do. It can help set appointments, help recruit, help make client conversations. But once again, if you're handing out books, you're mailing out books, you're not willing to follow up with people, you might as well take that whole case of books and throw it in the garbage. Nothing comes out of the book except a contact form and a way to open a conversation. If you're not willing to follow up, then that is a worthless marketing leg for you. Like all marketing, you've got to follow up. Free books, free services, my job is to help you. That's what we do on the book side. We got free books, we got free services that go along with that book. My job is to help you navigate, teach you how money works, teach you the 7 money milestones, and seeing what we can do both today and on an ongoing relationship to help you maneuver through your financial plan and your financial life. The HowMoneyWorks.VIP will be ready to go Monday. So if you guys are looking for a distribution center for books, we can handle that. If you have questions about that, if you go to HowMoneyWorks.VIP and you're looking at it and you're filling out a contact form, please make sure that we know it's a test. Just put in all tests. So when I see the lead come through, I'm not trying to mail out a book. If you guys want books mailed out, you'll see on the contact form, it's asking for the referral name. If there is one, that way we know who the lead goes to. Between the book, the postage, and the envelope, it's going to be a little less than $6 for every book that's mailed out. Guys, we started this 7 years ago, or the company started 7 years ago. Alana and I started, not too long after that. We started from the bottom. And a lot of people said, like I told you in the very beginning of this presentation, this couldn't happen, this won't work, you have to do business this way. We knew they were wrong then. Well, we proved them wrong now, and like I said at the very beginning of this presentation, there are structural changes that are happening inside this industry, and it will never, ever, ever be the same. I appreciate you guys' time. I know we went a little bit long today. If you guys have any questions, need any help, like we always say, if you're working, we are more than willing to work for you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Alana. Got to go.
Thank you, David. Great talk, and thank you, Mike. Always just fantastic information. I hope everybody has a wonderful and productive day. Let us know how we can help you.